What is up, guys, and welcome back to another day at Whitley Auto Works. Today, I know the scenery looks a little bit different. That's because I'm doing this from inside the house, but we're about to get some snow, and the weather is very, very cold today, so I just decided I would kind of play catch up and cover some stuff that's been going on behind the scenes of Whitley Auto Works today. In particularly, I had an article come out not too long ago in a very popular car guy catalog from back in the day called J.C. Whitney magazine. Now, if you're not familiar with J.C. Whitney, back in the day, they were the premier magazine that you would go to order parts, see different builds, and stuff like that. Obviously, you had other ones like Jegs and a couple of different catalogs that were out there that you could go to order performance parts. Summit was another big one. And also you could do like Import Tuner magazine if you were an import car guy, Honda Tuning, Super Street. There was just numerous magazines, be it domestic or import market, that you could go to, and they would have little cutouts in there where people would display products and put their stuff, and you could order stuff. So that's what J.C. Whitney was in a whole. Well, recently they reached out to me and they saw one of my videos from about a year ago called Rustoleum Paint Jobs versus Automotive Paint Jobs. And basically I did a comparison with Rustoleum Paint Jobs being at the bottom all the way through the different types of automotive paint jobs that you could do and the price points of everything. So if you haven't seen that video, go back and check that out. Also check out the article. It's a good read, but it's a year later now from when I did that, and they wrote the article a year later from when I did all that. And, so obviously, being an automotive company, they're going to be a little bit biased towards the automotive stuff, and rightfully so. Automotive is a lot better than Rustoleum at the end of the day. There's so many more options, and it's been time tested. Rustoleum Paint Jobs is all looked at as taboo in the automotive industry and just something you shouldn't do. They all say you're going to ruin your car if you do it. And, like wraps, plastic dips, stuff like that, rightfully so. I mean, you could ruin it if you don't do it the right way. But you could also ruin it with automotive stuff too if you mix the wrong things or you just apply it wrong. So, I mean, there's pros and cons to everything, but when you got guys out there charging $2,500 up for some wrap jobs, what's throwing $100, $200 at a Rustoleum paint job that's going to last a few years, when you're trying to do things on a budget. But to get back into the article, pretty much, I started out with the price point of Rustoleum. Now, at the time, it was $28.99 a gallon. Nowadays, it's $48.99 a gallon. So Rustoleum paint has dramatically increased in price. It's doubled. The acetone and stuff is pretty much the same. You can get a gallon of acetone for between $15 and $20, depending on the brand. And then you can also have the optional catalyst hardener. I highly recommend, if you do a Rustoleum paint job, adding the hardener to it, as it increases dry time, which is one of the biggest problems with Rustoleum paint jobs. Is it takes super long time to dry, and a lot of people complain about even when it's dry, it still stays soft. So a catalyst hardener will help interact that, help it harden better, and just give it overall better gloss, longevity, and everything else. So with a Rustoleum paint job, by the time you buy everything, you're looking at just under $100, which isn't bad. I mean, as far as having a cheap paint job that lasts for a few years. And they do, depending on the colors. I've had a lot of people complain that certain colors fade, like yellows, reds, oranges. They fade a lot quicker than the other colors. White seems to hold up good. Black seems to hold up great. I've done smoke gray on a lot of cars, and it holds up great as well. It's all in how you apply it. And I've got other reviews and stuff on my channel, 4 or 5 year reviews that you guys can go check out to see how they've held up. Well, when I did the article, I did Fast Dry, which was the automotive equivalent to Rustoleum, to where your Rustoleum uses acetone, lacquer thin, or whatever else to thin that. Your Fast Dry stuff uses an automotive reducer. So they're basically really close in equivalency, to where the Rustoleum was $50 a gallon now, say. At the time, the Fast Dry stuff was about $30 a quart. And, that's not horrible. I mean, still, for $120, you got pretty much the equivalent to a $50 Rustoleum paint job, but then you also have to add in the automotive reducer, which is typically another $80. So right there, you're already at $200. And the automotive reducer is pretty much a must for anything all the way up to your base clear or whatever else. You're going to have to reduce it. That's just inevitable. So you're always going to have that $80 cost kind of looming over your head to a certain extent. Now, I'm sure there's brands and other companies out there that might make an automotive reducer that's a little bit cheaper than that, but I'm going off of Nason products as I work at a Napa automotive paint store. So the next from Fast Dry would be your single stage stuff. And it's just, guys, I'm going to just be honest with you. The automotive products, they say the Fast Dry, it is quadrupled in price now, to where you used to be able to get a quart of it for $30. You're paying $100 a quart on this stuff. And I mean, you go into the single stage paint jobs, which is your acrylic enamel. That's after Fast Dry. Then you have your acrylic urethane, and that's another single stage. And then you step into your base clear paint jobs and stuff like that. The problem is, once you start getting into your single stage acrylic enamel, your single stage acrylic urethane, and your base, you're getting into that $100 to $150 a quart range. And then next thing you know, you're $500, $600, $700 in materials. So we still have Rustoleum sitting over here comfortably under $200. The big flaw or setback with Rustoleum is it comes in solid colors. You can't get factory colors. You can't get metallic colors unless you add a pearl to it or some kind of metallic flake into the Rustoleum or on top of it via a automotive clear coat. I've tried different automotive clear coats. I highly recommend only using urethane clear. Finish One's a great one. I use it all the time on the channel. Speedo Coat's another good one. And if you decide to go that route with the pearl, the clear, and everything else, you can still get out from under everything for $200. And that's pretty good. Like I said, the drawback is you can't match factory colors, which the automotive end, if you're really picky, you're going to paint a whole car and everything else. Then, you can also go with some of these kits you see on Amazon, eBay. They kind of fall in between that. They used to be just over $100. Now they're just under or slightly over $200 for those single stage kits. And like I said, those are single stage kits. They don't have any clear coat. They will hold up a little better than Rustoleum on its own, but with the Rustoleum paint jobs, you can get a urethane 2K clear for under $200 with a pearl. You can kind of imitate the same thing as the eBay kits and stuff like that, and you'll have essentially a poor man's base clear paint job with the 2K urethane that holds up longer and better than the all-in-one kits you get off of Amazon or eBay that everybody keeps recommending instead of the Rustoleum paint job stuff. So, I mean, and then you get into, say, like I said, the automotive base clear. It's gotten just through the roof. I mean, to where you could buy some 2K clear like the Finish One, and you still do that with the automotive stuff. The problem is the base coat has gotten so expensive, and all your other stuff, even the Fast Dry stuff's gotten so expensive. And the whole benefit or disadvantage of all this stuff, guys, is ultimately what you're using for a base coat. The clear coats can stay the same whether you're doing the highest end base clear job or your Rustoleum paint jobs. The base is where all your cost is in most all this stuff. So, a lot of people will argue different things. Obviously, you can add a better clear coat over everything. You can put the cheapest clear over the nicest base and compare that to a Rustoleum paint job with like some Sikkens or something super high-end clear coat wise, and the Rustoleum paint job is going to blow the automotive paint job away. So, basically what you're looking at is your cost of your bases, and then you want to make sure you get something that's going to work together, that's going to be compatible, that's not going to do weird stuff like shrink up too bad or just completely not work together or delaminate and peel off or whatever else. So I've done a lot of testing with all that stuff, and like I found works best is the Rustoleum with the urethane clear coats. Automotive related. They work great, and like I said, for everything all said and done, you get out for $200, and you can mix pearls, metallics, other stuff in it. And even if you have to say buy another gallon of clear and do something crazy do something custom like my shop truck paint job or whatever, to where you're trying to bury everything, with two-tones and all kinds of crazy mess, you're still $300 in materials is a lot better than $600-700 in automotive materials. And you've got a crazy cool paint job. So, the article, it does kind of lean towards automotive, versus Rustoleum. But with the price increase of everything, and with everybody this day and time trying to do what they can to save money and want to be different and want to be cool and wrap their car and do all this thing else, there's really no disadvantage to doing a Rustoleum paint job, other than the sheer fact that you tell somebody in the automotive industry that's got an ego, like a painter, that you got a Rustoleum paint job, and they're going to pick on you, and they're going to knock on it, and tell you all this, that, and the other. It's going to fail. It ain't good. You've ruined your car, yada, yada, yada. I've heard it for years. I've done automotive paint jobs with high-end stuff that people want to use. I've done Rustoleum paint jobs. The difference between me and other people is I don't have an ego about it, period. And I don't mind sharing information, telling you guys. You can use the cheapest of the cheap, the most expensive of the expensive. I can get good results for stuff, that's half the cost of what some of this other stuff is. And it's all, a lot of it's blowing smoke, guys. I mean, I'll just be honest with you. Yes, there are automotive stuff out there that's really good quality that'll last for 10, 15, 20 years or whatever else. But, end of the day, do you want to spend $1,500 in materials, or do you want to spend $200 in materials, paint something that's going to last 5-6 years? I mean, you might have the car that long, something might happen. I mean, you just never know. I mean, it just really just depends on what you feel comfortable with, what you want to spend, your price points, and everything else. Most everybody that watches the channel with me, they're DIY guys. They just want to see how to do something cheap, have something cool that's going to last a few years, and, save some money in the process and learn. And, that's what my channel is all about. I'll show crazy expensive automotive paint jobs if that's what you guys want to see. Or if you just want to see the cheapest of the cheap, how to do a paint job for $50-60. I mean, I've done plenty of those, and I can show that to you too. So ultimately, at the end of the day, guys, Rustoleum paint jobs versus automotive paint jobs, it really just comes down to preference. I can do both and make them long-lasting with good materials. It's not like just because you use Rustoleum, it's going to be complete just trash and chaos, and you're ruining your car or whatever else. It's all in the prep. It's all in the application. If you use materials that are compatible, like I said, with the Rustoleum and the urethane clear and stuff like that, you can get great results. It can be a reliable paint job for many years, and you can save a substantial bit of money. So that's kind of my thoughts with it today. I know this was a bit of a ramble, and I went all over the place with stuff, but I just want to kind of give you guys my thoughts and opinions on all this stuff and where I'm at with it. Like I said, I don't have an ego about anything. I don't think I'm God's gift to paint jobs like some of these other guys. I am simply a guy that has acquired a bunch of knowledge over the past 20 or 30 years. I did the research. I took the time to waste my own money trying different things that sometimes worked, sometimes didn't, and now I'm passing that information on to you guys. So, yeah, that's where we're at, guys, and I'm going to continue to do so, like my spray outs and stuff. I do all these different crazy spray outs with Rustoleum paint. It's not just about Rustoleum paint. If you guys want to do some of these crazy color combinations with automotive paint, whatever you decide to use for a base is fine. A black Rustoleum or a black automotive base, if you put that pearl over top of it, it's going to do exactly the same thing. So my stuff's not just about Rustoleum paint jobs and not just about automotive paint jobs. It's cool color combinations for everything, for every application, for everybody. Whether you're the Joe Smo off the street that can't afford to spend more than $200, or you're the guy that's got unlimited money wanting to do a cool $10,000 paint job, and you'll throw the money out. You don't care. So anyways, that's my two thoughts, and let me know what you guys think. I know this was a lot to kind of digest with everything, but what are your thoughts and opinions on Rustoleum paint jobs? What are your thoughts and opinions on automotive paint jobs? What are your experiences and what do you prefer? And yeah, that's going to be it for me today, guys. If you made it this far in the video and you like what I'm doing, you like the spray outs or full car paint jobs, be it Rustoleum or Automotive, and you just enjoy everything I do overall, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Drop me a like and comment. And yeah, that's going to be it. I appreciate you guys for watching today. I'm John from Whitley Auto Works. I hope you guys have a great day. God bless. And I'll see you guys on the next episode.